Hi everybody, it's Violet from Journal Art Papery. Just thought I'd take you on a little peek around my craft room. It's a bit of a mess in some spots, so I'm not going to show you that. But I just thought I'll start by starting at the front door of my room. This is my door where my bag sort of sits. My husband says this looks like my shoplifting bag, and I don't shoplift, so I think that's a bit funny. But anyway, this is obviously a William Waterhouse design, John William Waterhouse design that I painted onto this canvas bag that I made. Sort of won't show you too much inside, but there's some pockets and everything. I made that quite a few years ago when I was living in Tasmania, and I taught this design as a project for quite a number of women down in Tasmania, and it turned out beautiful. It was lovely to see the different outcomes for each person. It's a funny thing, we can all be looking at the same picture but all be seeing something completely different, but by and large they turn out pretty good. This is another one of my paintings, but this actually fits inside my box here. I've got a box of where I keep all my Jess Sonia paints. As you can see, I'm not a hoarder. These were my teaching paints, probably 20 years ago. I've had them for at least that time, and I would say the majority of them are still in good nick, ready to use. It's how well that product lasts, and I just wish they would give me a whole pile of new ones, but I'm not actually doing this as a teaching role these days, so I probably don't deserve them. But this actually fits in there for when I transport it. And this other one here is just a picture of our grant logo, I suppose. I don't know what you call these. I think it's stand fast, because it's the grant. I've got it upside down. Shame on me. Husband won't be happy with that. Anyway, that's what it's meant to be. So that's our crest. My husband comes from a Scottish heritage, and that's their crest for their Grant Castle. And yeah, so that is actually painted, and it goes on the other side. So these clip together, and when I close up my box, I've got, that's a William Morris that I painted on one side, and I've got another design on the other side, but I'm not going to pull it out at the moment. So that's just where I sit my paint box, because I've got nowhere else to put it. I've got so much stuff in this room, it's incredible. But anyway, we'll move on. These are just some of my fabrics that I use in some of my journal designs. I've got a hessian, and it looks like what I used to call a head cloth, but I've used that in some of my designs as well. And just over to the side here is part of my lace hoard. I am a hoarder. My name is Violet, and I am a hoarder. I love to get all of this sort of lace and doilies, and I've got hundreds of them here, and I save them all up and use them in my journals and on my ephemera that I create. This stuff here is basically sari silk. I've got a few reams or rolls of this, and this here is a very interesting sort of material, and it's like a thread that's very fringy, and I don't know what you'd call it. I would call it probably a bit of a hessian fringe, or yeah, it's interesting stuff. I've only used that a little bit, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'll probably use it into the future when I think about some other things that I can do. And this is just a beautiful dangle that I found at an op shop. I was actually going to use it on the front of one of my journals, but I just thought, no, this is just too beautiful to part with. I'm not going to part with that. So I just sort of hung it there. Okay, moving around. Here's my little Mini. I drive a Mini, a Cabrio. That's my little Mini that I've done some paintings of and made some Christmas card stickers out of. And yeah, that's just a cute little thing my hubby bought me because I drive a Mini exactly that colour, and we drive it with the roof down when it's really nice weather. Again, more of my lace, some of my fabric flowers that I make. I'm really revealing a bit here of my messiness. This is just more of my lace. and these beautiful things here, these are the rolls that the pianola paper comes on. Beautiful, beautiful rolls. And I've taken the paper off and left it in the original box, and I've wrapped a lot of my laces around the rolls. I just thought they were just the most magnificent thing. I was looking for something quite large to put the laces on, and when I came across the pianola rolls and they had this sort of roll, I thought, well, that'd be the perfect option for my laces. And so I took all the papers off them. I've got probably about 20 or more rolls, and yeah, have just rolled some of my laces around them. And this is coming back down here. Oh, I've got to show you this stuff. This is gorgeous. I bought a whole pile of this from Miss Rose, Sister Violet, I think they're called. They're an Adelaide business, small business, who do pretty well, I think, but they sell trims as well. And so a little shout out to them. Thank you for the supply of those beautiful roses that I cut up and put on my journals. This here is my William Morris card stash that my daughter gave me for Christmas. She's such a thoughtful girl. She gives me things that she knows I love, and just simple postcards. Oh, what a great gift to give to anybody, because I am a William Morris lover of his designs, not of him or his philosophy, but his designs I pretty much love. And this here is a roll of vintage paper that I found in an antique shop, and I've used this quite a bit in my journals. It's true vintage, and when I saw it, I couldn't resist. I thought, oh my goodness, why is someone throwing that out? So I snagged it. On top here we've got some more tape that you put on the back of watercolour paintings, and I've used this quite a bit as well, just to put a lovely edge on some of the pages that I've created. This here is a box that I made where I place all my stickers that I create and sell. So I've got them all catalogued there in the different boxes. And this, I might do a tutorial on this. This is just, the box itself is just a box, and I've put this insert in that I made out of just card, bit of washi tape. I probably should have glued some of the washi tape down because it looks as if it might come up every now and then, but I give it a bit of a squeeze and it's okay. Again, more paper. I'm a bit of a paper gatherer as well, moving up to more of my lace and some of my threads. It's just crazy. And it's a little bit untidy actually. I should have tidied it up. This box here, I'll just take this off. Getting a bit close. I keep all these bits that I've made, that I've spoken a little bit about, but I made these. I had a couple of days where I just couldn't stop making them. I just love using that modelling paste, and so I've made a whole box of them and put them there. Just more doilies and vintage finds from op shops up here again. All of this stuff. Shocking, isn't it? But that's who I am. I just gather stuff because I know I'm going to use it. I might need 100 years to get through it, but I know I'll use it. So these little baskets are quite cool. I got these at Kmart. I think they, probably about $8 each, but they actually stack on top of one another. So I thought they would be perfect for sitting on my shelf here. Just some more lace. That whole shelf is just full of lace and vintage doilies and cloths that I use in my journals. Just moving down here, I've got a bit of a stash of bags each one of these little bags here I paint with a little rose on it. The bigger ones I put bigger roses on, just basically because they're my thing. The shabby style rose is my thing, and I apart from vintage stuff, which again is my thing, I paint these little roses here. Actually, this is some of my, that's a little strip of vellum. I've just stuck it there because I didn't want to lose it and I can see it. So I paint these little roses on those bags and on my envelopes that I send off with all my stickers and purchases in it. There's that beautiful music paper. This is vintage music paper. Again, found at an op shop. And these are some of the bags that I put some of the things that people purchase in. I usually give them a lovely bag that I painted. So, okay, I'll move up. It's one of my shoe paintings. I'm very into shoes. I love them, and so I painted this design quite a few years back now, but I've also had hand-painted cards that I've done. I don't usually sell prints of anything I do. I probably should, but these take me ages to paint. But I've got a whole pile of shoes that I've painted. Again, just another shelf of things that I've gathered. Some of my Parisian stained paper. I must do some more of that. Some of my unfinished journals here. Moving back down, some more bits and pieces that'll go in my journals. It's where I keep my moulds, right down the bottom there. This is another one of my, getting a bit dark, I know. It's one of my painted designs. It's a toile design of Romeo and Juliet. And again, this is under my table. I've got so much stuff under there, like materials and my laser printer. I'll move around, I want to show you this beauty. These are my drawers. I looked online for these for ages, and I found them on Facebook, and this person was selling them for a reasonable price. They still cost me an arm and a leg, but I love them. I've put a lot of stuff in them. So these are a lot of my moulds that I've made. A lot of those are out of wax. Some are clay. My paper doilies. So all these drawers, many of them are full, not all of them, but many of them are full. So just come back around here. There's my printer, my computer. Moving back around to this side. I know, so I hope you're not bored, but I just wanted to show you how I work. This is the stuff that I do. And I'm sorry if the camera's all a bit shaky. It's just because I'm moving around with it. I've just a basket up there with some of the things that I've got for sale. Some of the wallpapers that I use. I've got a whole cupboard full of wallpaper. Some of my brushes, some of my paints. These are just tomato tins that I've put some designs on. Emptied them out, cleaned them out. I put the clay around the top of them because I didn't want anyone cutting themselves if they got to, a bit of a sharp edge on them. Here's my washi tape, some of my washi tape. I want to show you my own washi tape here. This is it here. This beautiful design here is my washi tape. And I've got the wide one and the more narrow one. And this is because of the design on my table. That's the design that's on the washi tape. This is my painted surface that I have all my bits and pieces that I do. I usually do it on top of this surface. You can see it's a bit splattered with paint and it's got a few chunks missing out of it. That's because I crackled parts of it, and some of the crackles come up because I'm a bit abusive when it comes to my work surface. I tend to not be as careful as I should perhaps. These are just some of the projects that I've got on the go at the moment. I'm going to do a tutorial on that. Great things. I want to show you these. This is my envelopes. I have a stash that I paint up, ready to send my stickers off in. I've got all sizes that I've painted there, and I just stash them under there to keep them out of the way. And I've got my other colour printer up there on the shelf. I've also got a box of laces that I'm working with my journals at the moment. Just some unfinished craft bits and pieces here. My papers under there. Going back up to the washi tape. I've got so much more washi tape. It's all in these drawers over here. So these are some of the beads and things that I use. My wax palettes. Some of the drawers are full of stuff that I use in my journals. Over here to my bookshelf, my messy bookshelf. I really need to get in and work on that. That's the top where I have my paper roll and all other kinds of bits and pieces. Over here to my paintbrush section. Look at that. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So many. I'll come down a little bit, but I'm not going to show you all my mess. These are where my mediums are there on the left. Those drawers are full of stencils and other bits and pieces. Some of my paints are in here. My Google thing's just gone off. I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, so I might finish off here, but I just thought I'd just show you a little look around my room. So now you can see the kind of craziness that I work in. Again, I've got these beautiful materials that I purchased at an op shop just hanging over there. So yeah, lots of bits and pieces, and I hope that's been interesting for you. Just want to finish off with this. This is just a pile of the things that I'm working on at the moment. I've just done a tutorial on these lovely Christmas decorations in 2 parts because it's so long. I had to cut it into 2. Anyway, I'm going to try and do better. But yeah, thanks for taking this little journey with me, and I'll catch up with you in another tutorial. Bye for now.